So the version differences between Mario 64 versions are fairly simple to explain. Basically, in Japanese, the intro is shorter, but it's a little slower to get through text boxes, and because of the font, it's not guaranteed that text boxes will be shorter. And in fact, some text boxes on JP are longer than they would be on English. But overall, for this category, no matter which route you do, JP is going to be the faster route. But doing English does offer one slight advantage in that MIPS run slower, so that you can catch them a little bit easier in front of the doorway, and maybe even do the punch grab a bit easier if you choose to.
Here we go, Andrew playing with the weights on a little bit with a slight time difference going in. But we are about to kick off, and I'm looking towards this cameraman. Let's see how they do with Lackady. Feeling good.
Exactly right. And Spread taking a wide angle over to the right, setting up a dead-on camera angle, and managing to get it very nice. As Andrew taking a much more direct angle and just a little bit too far to the right. Such a precise trick. You really have to just straddle the edge of that bridge.
This is going to be good for Spread. He can use this time.
Let's see, both players are going to commit to the non-LBLJ route, so we're not going to be seeing any LBLJ shenanigans, which definitely evens things up. Spread getting a nice big bomb for bomb clip, but changes his angle right before he makes contact with the fence, so he's not going to end up managing to clip through on that first try. He's going to go ahead and take the chain chomp as a backup. Xandruuuu also gets a big bomb, and he's going to make it right through that fence. Going to save all that time and some that he lost to Lackady skip.
Quick backup, but it's got to be frustrating right off the bat. Let's see how he recovers.
Exactly, and especially when you're having to go for that log backup, because it's hard to get confident at going for bomb clip a second try, but it bleeds so much more. I think it only bleeds about like 9 or 10 seconds to do a second try bomb clip, but it bleeds, I think, closer to 20 to have to do that chain chomp backup. So it's a hard decision to have to make, but Spread ultimately just cutting his losses there, which, you know, hey, Xandruuuu is entering the most inconsistent stage, which, especially if you start going for hard strats like Salt Class or Double Jump Owless, it can really get inconsistent fast. And we got Xandruuuu going right on in for Double Jump Owless and makes it first try. All right.
Oh.
Very nice time save over the Owl strat there, and even over Triple Jump Alice. I think it's almost a second or so, maybe like closer to 3/4, but a lot of runners will swear that Double Jump Alice is easier for them than Triple Jump Alice. And I think it just kind of goes with this general theme in this game of a strat that allows you to move fluidly all the way to... Oh, Xandruuuu falls off early while going for Cannonless. So instead of trying to go for a backup star, they're just going to go ahead and try to go for Cannonless a second time, going for texture setup this time. And wow, uses the Mario Cam backup there to adjust his position just slightly as he makes contact with the wall and manages to make it work.
You love to see it. They're both pretty close with 3 stars. It's looking good. Spread hitting Kless first try, and we'll see how they climb the tower.
Xandruuuu now with the proper Wild Blue single jump coming out. Nicely done. Xandruuuu pulling out the pro 16-star strats. Definitely knows his stuff. And Spread, meanwhile, taking the casual island visit while making his way up to the Thwomp. See, he knows that the red coin up there is a lucky charm that'll make sure that he's able to get through this fight just fine. Xandruuuu, nice triple jump to the top of Womp's Fortress, but ends up getting a missed angle on his jump and isn't able to make the dive where he wants to make it. Tries to kick up, but bleeds a lot of time there. Still got that star advantage, but Spread inching a little bit closer with that mistake. That's a very infuriating mistake to make whenever you're going for that strat. And really the only thing that the triple jump up that slope saves is that you're now able to jump and dive straight onto the summit rather than having to slide down a little bit, jump and kick and maybe dive if you happen to get lucky with your height. So it's a nice cheeky little time save, but as you saw there, it can sometimes lead to some just significant time loss in relation to how much it would save. Spread though, top in the tower. Xandruu's going to be the first out of Womp, so Spread's got to go back in for the Owl Star. And let's see how optimized Spread decided to get with the Owl, because there's a lot of little things that you can do to make this even faster and just bridge that gap a little bit between yourself and Owlus. So taking a little bit of the long way up the tree, but that's okay. We're going to take the single jump just to make sure we don't have any momentum. If you use a backflip grab, you can actually let go of the Owl a little earlier.
And, Mad Owl always an option. Maintaining that speed through the text box is a dazzling play.
Oh, man. I've always been a backflip guy myself, but Mad Owl is always impressive to see.
Now, Andrew's got to be pumped. Sub 5 Womps exit in a race. You got to take that every time.
A little bit of a bobble on that side flip angle, but does get the back up pretty okay. Taking some just very, very comfy movement there. I'm surprised with all the other strats. I mean, if you can do single jump wild blue, you can do the low dive wall kicks will work strat.
Now this is what I'm saying. So compared to his PB, right? Andrew he stuck around Womps for a lot longer. He is doing some of these safer strats to maybe avoid some of these more difficult stars later on. And it's panning out so far. This is a great race. Spread holding it down as well.
Yeah, Xandru a full star ahead coming out of the cold, cold mountain, but Bowser in the Dark World can be a great equalizer, one of many within this run. One of those stages where there just aren't a lot of safety nets. There are a lot of positions where one small error in timing or position is going to kill you. It's just no bones about it. Any other stage, you would take a little bonk, fall, have to take a moment to recover. But this stage, there's no little floor there to hold you. So we'll see how Xandru handles it. And taking an angled approach here for the start. So trying to speed himself up a little bit, probably for Shia cycle based on still going for the traditional switch press. Takes a booty burn, and that's going to be a death. And with that, this race suddenly gets a lot closer as Spread just entering Dark World for their first attempt here. So let's see.
This could be a very exciting Dark World.
It looks like we've either got some stream issues or possibly a slight resync. I'm not exactly sure what's happening with Xandruu's stream, but we're working right on that. Okay, so Xandru on their next attempt here. So about dead even with Spread. Spread taking a fall on the elevator platform, but they're able to go ahead and recover. Now both players on the wooden bridge area, going up to the brick road. Xandru just cruising along. Looks like they're still on pace for a decent cycle this time around, or at least a decent ending. And then meanwhile, Spread taking, looks like a comfy, normal cycle or so. Oh, okay, they're going to wait one more cycle just to make sure that they can make it through these moving platforms safely. These rotating platforms look easy, but they are so easy to take a fall on.
Maybe not something you do in a PB attempt, but I think in a race, it's going to be a great call.
Exactly right. Now Xandruu's going to be entering the pipe as Spread collecting the last red coin. Has a little bit of an issue with the camera angle there. Not really the friendliest camera angle in that segment, and having some issues with that little slope as well. Fortunately, not a slope that you can just kick up, so I'm going to go ahead and reactivate the switch. As Xandruuuu finishes off Bowser, going to be advancing on down to the basement and has a pretty comfy, chill time in the basement. We'll see how difficult they decide to make things on themselves. Because it really, basement in no LBLJ comes down to how hard do you want to make things on yourself. Do you want to go for side hop? Do you want to go for C-up slide in HMC? Do you want to go for the jump dive opener in Reds and LLL? There's a lot of little things that you can do to make things harder, but it's a very comfy route otherwise.
Wonder if he's maybe keeping an eye on Spread to see what he might have to do in the basement. Well, we will see. Love to see a proper Dark World recovery after a death. That was a great job by both runners here.
Exactly right. Deaths are always rough, especially in that stage. But luckily, Xandruu's death not really too late on, which is really what attaches so much pain. Falling off as early as Xandruuuu did really, it tempers the hurt a little bit. Since I think the worst place to fall, aside from falling next to the pipe, of course, is like falling around that 8th red, because you just know it's so much time loss, and it's so painful because you know how close you were to just succeeding.
Oh, always hurts to see that.
All right, now
Here we
Xandru
go.
is gonna be going for side hop here, based on them leaving SSL a bit early. Meanwhile, Spread is going for the more traditional Talon route, so they're gonna go for the Fly Guy strat, of course. Not expected to see Fly Guy-less with anyone that doesn't have a 14 as a PB. Alright, nice Talon Star from Spread. Xandru is going to go on in on side hop here. Probably the trickiest star within the basement for this route, at least. So let's see how things shake out. And it's clean. Nicely done. Gonna go ahead and take that nice little Mario cam on the end for a very comfy, nice, just straight trail to the ending.
Spread with a great pyramid star, and you gotta say, Spread's on a great pace right now. He's a bit behind, but he is keeping up. This is great. Absolutely.
And just has Reds and LOL, which is a pretty quick star, and he'll be right behind Xandru right afterwards. So, if Xandru has any major mistakes, particularly in Fire Sea, Spread could certainly capitalize pretty significantly. So we'll just have to see what happens. Got to get through the haziest of maze caves first. Xandru is going to be C-up sliding for us. Very nicely done, pulling it off perfectly. For those not in the know, normally when you enter that C-up camera, the game is supposed to like hold you still so that you can move the camera around and look around. But if you're on like a really steep slope when you do that, you can end up in this condition where Mario will just gain a bunch of speed instead. And then you can just cancel out the C-up with an action of some kind and preserve all that speed through a jump. But the consequence is, if you do it a little bit wrong, you'll end up just falling into the pit instead. And it's pretty difficult to back up if you get into that little situation. So it's another one of those high-risk, kind of medium reward strats. It's definitely faster than anything else you could do for boulders, but...
Gosh dang if it's not one of the most badass stars to watch.
Absolutely. It's always such a treat to see. Xandru with a nice MIPS grab on the English version, like we mentioned earlier, so it has a pretty easy time with MIPS. And so, ducking out a little bit early through the doorway. If you end up like just barely having gotten a MIPS shadow through that door frame, you can sometimes end up with Mario clipping right back through to the original side. And a nice little backup to a little first try fail on that 30-star door clip. As easy as that clip is, it kind of makes you YOLO it because you know how free it is, and it ends up making you fail it more because you're not going for it in any consistent way. Because in essence, for that 30-star door clip, you're trying to do what you did for the wooden door wrong. You're trying to like push MIPS a little further than you would have wanted to for the wooden door, so Mario will just go completely through the door. If you mess around with like the wooden door clip and like push MIPS really far through, you'll see what I'm talking about, where like Mario just clips all the way through the wooden door, and it's in essence what you're trying to do for the Fire Sea door anyway. But Xandru with a nice rear sub. With all the other strats we've seen them do, I'm a little surprised they didn't go for front sub, but always the consistent safe choice here.
Yeah, it's very. I say it's a very smart call, going not doing front sub, but I agree. That door is one of those things. There are many in Mario that are, basically free. It's comfortable, but the moment you disrespect it, it's all over.
Oh, now Xandru trying to go for pole glitch, but having a little bit of an issue with the setup, and so not even going to end up going for it, but has a little bit of an issue again with the stone platform there. But gonna go ahead and recover. Early Ellie is pretty much dead in the water, unfortunately. And he's gonna go ahead and breakdance at the camera. He knows that there's no way he's gonna be able to make that early cycle, so he's just gonna go right on ahead and take advantage of that extra little time he's got.
I fully support that move.
Rear sub. You never get to see the breakdance in 16 star.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you get to see it on occasion as a mistake in front of LOL, but other than that. So Now, Xandru, a full Bowser stage ahead of Spread. Let's see what Spread goes for here. Most likely going for early Ellie's without pole glitch. Unfortunately, going to take that first ledge grab, which is going to pretty well make things difficult. Still possible, though. I'm getting a pretty low pole grab there. Oh, yeah. More than likely, early Ellie's also not going to happen for Spread, which... Oh, Xandru actually, it looks like throwing Bowser off the stage improperly. Closing that gap just a little bit. Might have seen that a little wrong, but...
It was a short throw, I believe. A little falter, but we're back in action for Andrew.
Yeah. Not going to completely kill their lead. The Spread going to head right on into the funnel. Surprisingly easy to lose time to that funnel. Spread had a really clean entry there, but it's really, really easy to end up like sliding all around and building up a ton of momentum.
Now, this is a moment.
Oh, Spread also going to throw far left, but... Oh no, they gotta wait for Bowser to just run around a little bit so that they can actually grab his tail. Xandru getting started on BLJs. Now, Spread could glitch grab. Spread has walked around on Bowser's tail, and that activates the first... Oh! Bowser gonna run right over Spread and gonna cause a death there. Gonna have to redo that fight as Xandru gets a first catch on that endless staircase BLJ, and they are in Sky. Looking to close this game one out as fast as they can.
Ooh, rough stuff in Fire C, but I'm sure Spread will finish strong, as Andrew seems to be having a very clean bits so far.
Now let's see, making a decent elevator platform cycle. Let's see what they go for here. I'm assuming we're gonna see a right side. Oh, actually. I'm going for wood blocks straight out of left field. Was not expecting something like that from Xandru. Having to take this back up. Oh, nearly falling down. The bomb is also conspiring to try to make Xandru fall, but not going to have it. Xandru having to take a glitchy pole grab there off the triple jump dive. Just a lot of very intriguing movement on the end of Sky here, but able to make things work. I'm very curious why wood blocks instead of standing left side or moving left side. If you don't want to do right side, you've got a lot of alternatives between those two straps. But and then even Spread trying to head into BLJs.
Now I haven't seen the 1621, but in the 1630 that Andrew had previously, that's a first hit. He did the same thing. It was log kick. So I wonder what it is about that strat that he's just not down with. Spread getting through the first door.
That's going to be a third throw.
Hey.
GG's to Xandru. That's going to do it. Going to close things out with a high 17 for this game one. So Spread would have had to clear a pretty significant PB gap in order to sock it to Andrew in this race, but, you know, it's certainly not over yet. Xandru's got to replicate that performance in game two if they want to go ahead and clinch out the series. So we'll see what happens there. As it looks like Spread will go ahead and finish out this race, but Xandru sitting comfy with a game one win with that 17:58.
You know, Spread was on a great pace race one, and I think Andrews showed that he is not immortal. He did make some mistakes. I think that is going to make race two very interesting here.
Yeah, I think Spread just had some really unfortunate stuff, especially that death in the Fire Sea fight. That lost them some pretty significant time, and a few other mistakes throughout the run. That if they're able to clean those up in game two, we could definitely see a much closer fight and finish. You gotta remember too, this was the run that they started out by having to use the chain chomp as a backup for bomb clip, and they ended up pretty much tied with Xandru at some point around like the middle of the run, I believe. So, you know, there's definitely some room to keep things moving in the next run for sure. Running right into Bowser's tail as they're trying to get started with this third fight, and I'm really not sure how they managed to punch Bowser instead of grabbing him on that second one, but alright. Unfortunately, right leaning throw there. You're gonna have to wait for Bowser to respawn on top of the stage. Likes to take his sweet time.
Tough go on the Bowser grab, but we got a bounce blast there, and we'll see how he finishes off the rest of these throws.
All right,
It's
that's
gonna
gonna
be
be a
two
good
there.
second. Oh, trying to dive a little bit short. And a little bit too far left. Unfortunate. Almost closing out this fight. Let's see. Just has one more throw. Nice view of the bomb. Oh, just a little bit early. Man, timing that release is so difficult. There's a reason. Oh, and Spread is going to dive right into Bowser and end up taking a death here. They're going to have to redo the whole fight. I'm not sure if they're going to go right back into the pipe, it looks like. All right.
I respect it. I respect it. It's
Gotta go ahead and finish it out.
It's tough. It's tough to finish those throws, you know, at the end of a race, especially if you haven't won. But I'm feeling it. I think we're gonna see a 1, 2, 3 from Spread right here. He's got it.
Oh, dead on with the aim, but not quite with the power. But that does give them a really nice close throw here. Let's see. Yeah, nice. Just needs one half of a spin. All right, we just gotta get two more out. Going for the long range throw here, but does manage to make this hit this time. Nicely done. Pretty much maximum power. Dead on accuracy. And just needs one more bomb hit. Let's see it happen. Oh, I think a little bit late on the release. Come on, you can do it, Spread. You got
Let's go,
this.
Spread. Quick throw. Oh! Oh no!
Yep, taking the burn from the blue flame.
Blue flame. Classic.
Yeah.
That
Once Bowser's able to spit those flames out, it's anyone's game. And throwing a little short, just a little too far away on the stadium. Not quite able to get the throw to connect. Oh, man.
the aim
Come
was
on.
great though.
Oh, almost there. Just keeps alternating. Too far left, then too far right, then too far left.
I believe in Spread in this moment. He's gonna do it. It's going down. This next throw is the one.
This next one's gonna be it. This next one's gonna go ahead and close it off. It was close. I've seen some that look like that hit, but unfortunately not quite for Spread. Come on, Spread. You got this.
Let's go.
There we go. That's it. GG's. And with that, we have finished out game one. Xandruuuu with a 17:58. Spread looks like Spread just kind of wanted to go ahead and get the throws. They weren't really that concerned with finishing so much as they were with just getting the actual throws experience. So, but we'll be setting up in just a moment for a game two. Don't go anywhere, folks. Going to give our runners a little bit of a break in the back room. But we'll go ahead and take a moment now to talk about our sponsor, the United Arts Partnership. They're an organization that helps underprivileged youth with all sorts of various programs ranging from college preparatory, such as like how to apply for scholarships, how to actually apply for colleges, to like various computer science and other STEM related courses, such as like game design related courses. It's not just like a game design boot camp, but it's a very holistic program that exposes kids to computer science using the lens of game design, something that they're probably going to be interested in. So definitely check them out. They're a wonderful organization to be partnered with, doing a lot of wonderful work for these kids.
That's what I'm talking about. Truly, truly badass. All right, there it is. The star is grabbed. We are ready, almost ready for race 2 here. Honestly, I'm hoping for just a solid run from both of them. I'd love to see spread keep it competitive, but who knows? Who knows what'll happen? Very excited. Yeah, I really do believe in spread to summon the power of Yoshi for this next race and really get the job done. I wonder if something else I'm wondering here is if after a victory, if Andrew might be feeling a little more bold, if he's considering getting maybe less stars and womps, heading downstairs sooner, and really kind of pushing some of these strats. I think it could be interesting, and we'll only time will tell.
Exactly right. Looks like we're about ready to get underway, though. Just waiting on confirmation from our runners now. Looks like spread might want to take a moment to go ahead and practice. Not exactly sure. Okay, it looks like they're just straight up. Okay. Okay. So, spread may not be aware that it's a... Oh, okay, never mind. It seems they are aware it's a best of 3. I guess they just want to chill out with some Tetris in the meantime. Fun fact for those out there that may not know, this game, the new Tetris, actually has some really interesting text files just kind of like hidden in the game's files. The development team apparently didn't have the greatest working environment, so they included some pretty snarky comments, assuming that no one was going to see them for years. But then, like, game cracking groups revealed the existence of these text files, like, the day after the game's release. It's, for mature audiences only, I'll go ahead and say. Don't really look it up if you don't fall in that category. It's an interesting little bit of video game history, though.
Yeah, I guess you never expect things to get that spicy in the Tetris world, but, you know, I'm always ready to be surprised.
And Tetris is a surprisingly spicy game. It's one of those games that, if the upper echelon of play weren't just so insanely good, I would want to learn it, but I feel like I would never get beyond the beginner level. And that's how good the experts are. So I'm just not motivated to, like, even try to play it. I watched, like, the top level grandmaster players with, like, arcade Tetris, and oh man. That's some insanity right there.
They are wild, but I have no doubts that you do a great job. I'm sure you'd be blasting.
We got xandruuuu checking their file real quick. Spread goes ahead and closes out the Tetris. All right. We got the countdown going in the back room. We start the countdown a little bit early with our runners and have live split have a little bit of a delay so that we've got time to synchronize the gameplay feeds before we go ahead and get started. And so a nice little freeze frame on Mario's face during the intro, and we're right underway.
Dear Mario,
Just as before we got spread on the JP version, xandruuuu on the English version. And now, this is for all the marbles for spread. Either spread's able to go ahead and take a game and push this on over to game 3, or xandruuuu's going to go ahead and take this, and that'll be it, folks. Now, it is going to be interesting, like you brought up earlier, to see whether xandruuuu decides to stick with this consistent no LBLJ route, or if xandruuuu decides to go ahead and kick things into second gear and, you know, switch over to the LBLJ route. Save a little bit of extra time and, you know, sacrifice that little bit of consistency. I say a little bit, but I mean, some of the stars that you implement on that route are brutally inconsistent unless you've sunk a lot of time in. We got Spread.
Absolutely.
Oh, Spread having to take a ledge grab on Lakitu skip. As Xandru's going to be making it through this time. Nicely done. So pretty much reverse of the last race. And now, yet again, Xandru's going to go ahead and go right on in on no LBLJ route. I mean, this is a decision that I personally support, since it is definitely a more consistent route for racing. But it does put you at a disadvantage if your opponent does decide to go for the LBLJ route. And if you are confident enough in those additional stars, it could be worth going for just from that additional time save. But Spread, unfortunately, not able to get that grab on the bomb there. I think attempting a little bit early or something.
Rough start, missing both bomb clip and Lakitu. Andrew out to a sizable lead, but let's see if Spread can get it together and recover. I think he's got some premier warm-up with the block puzzle action, and we'll see if it pays off.
Let's see what happens with Cannonless. I believe Xandru had some issues with Cannonless last run, so not impermeable on that star at all. Nice little double jump there. Beautiful stuff. Xandru, an absolute professional at double jump outlets.
Love to see it. Beautiful indeed.
Yeah, pretty much already a full star ahead. We'll see if they're able to extend that lead to 2 stars by the time Womp gets over. We got Spread falling off a little bit early trying to go into Cannonless. Meanwhile, Xandru's setting up for texture. And it's going to be clean. Nicely done. And yet again with that Mario cam, almost looks like an intentional strat with them rather than a backup.
Interesting. Spread having to back up that side flip wall kick, but he is out with the second start, ready for a third.
We got Xandru going on in for Wild Blue. Probably, yeah, going for single jump yet again. Nice! It's surprising how many people are going for that now. Yeah, that used to be a strat that ended up Spread falling down yet again and costing a lot more time this second time around. So it looks like they're just going to go ahead and go for Owlus instead. Or, okay, they're going to go ahead and go to the top of the summit instead now. Okay. Honestly, pretty smart move. If you're getting tilted on Cannonless, just go ahead and get something else out of the way.
I think that's huge. Yeah, that's got to be the play. And Cannonless, a star we've all had trouble with. You know, you miss it a couple 2-3 times without that luxury to reset. It can be tilted.
No doubt about it. If you have issues getting Cannonless consistently, especially with full setup, I would definitely encourage you to like go back and rewatch some tutorial vids on it because it'll help a ton. There are a lot of little things that will help make that star so much more consistent. Because normally the 2 tries that you get on it are pretty well good enough, but just every once in a while things can just all go wrong. And Spread, able to go ahead and venture on over to this ledge grab position now. And they want to make absolutely sure they get a perfect ledge grab position. They don't want it to take any more than 1 perfect try at this point. And they're going to fall right beside the star. Unfortunate. You hate to see it. It could be that initial ledge grab position not quite being right. It could be that they just held slightly left or right of down. There's a lot of little things that could affect that star, but unfortunately not able to get Cannonless on that attempt as they're going to go ahead and venture up to the top of the tower for a backup here.
That is brutal. The Cannonless meltdown. Never like to see it, but
yeah, it's a terrible way to start a race, that's for sure. As Xandru just firmly in the driver's seat, a full 2 stars ahead for now, but on his way to get a third. Okay, let's see what Spread is able to do this time. Okay, ledge grab position looks pretty good. And let's see it. There it is. Nicely done. They're able to go ahead and get Cannonless done on that attempt. And now we just got to deal with the owl. And with that, we will be schmoovin' right on over to CCM.
Love it. A huge weight off Spread's shoulders there, no doubt. let's hope he continues through CCM.
As Xandruuuu is going to be advancing on over to Dark World now.
Andrew absolutely zooming. It'll be interesting to see what he puts together in Dark World. I don't know. We'll see how it pans out. There's always BLJs, etc. But we have a solid 2-star lead from Andrew here.
Yeah, full CCM ahead, but all hope is not over just yet. We'll see what Andrew is able to go ahead and pull out in Dark World here. As we got a solid start. Good shake pace, but we'll see if they're able to hold on to that lead. Nice movement through the moving elevator. Okay, kind of awkward amp position, but that's okay. They got the extra time to spare. Very, very comfy shake cycle pace. And they got the room to go ahead and do a walk around on the island, taking a dangerous, risky roll out there. That was like pixels away from that rollout turning into a dive instead because Mario fell off the platform. That was insanely close to causing a death, which would have definitely rattled this race a lot. But luckily, Xandruuuu able to go ahead and hold things together, and we're advancing right on over to the Bowser fight.
The absolute dazzler of a Dark World there. You love to see it.
Now Xandruuuu goes on with the 2-spin.
Yeah. Got a little lag after that first throw, but we are synced back up, and the throw hits.
Nicely done on the second attempt. We bleed just a little bit of time there, but that's okay. I'm still advancing right on down to the basement. Probably going to be doing pretty much the same route that we saw before. 1 star in the shifting sand land, 1 star in the reds, 1 star in logless, for 2 stars in LOL, because that's how math works. So on and so forth.
Still a bit behind here going into Dark World, but oh, there we go.
A rough death to take.
Tough death.
But at least it's early on, not taking the 6th moving red death.
Right, Andrew heading into SL on incredible pace right now, and Spread taking another fall at the beginning of Dark World. That is 2 deaths. He's going to have to start worrying about his lives if this happens again, but I think we'd all like to see a solid recovery here. We all believe in Spread, and I think he's got what it takes to zoom through this level and show us what's up. Andrew taking a similar route this time, heading into LLL. Great red coins. See how he we'll see how he handles this side hop. Red coming up on coin 8 here. And the Dark World star is claimed. Andrew with the great side hop as well.
Going to be moving right on along to HMC, just further solidifying that lead over Spread.
Spread missing the first throw, but luckily Bowser did not go off the edge. Could have been worse, and we'll see Spread finally head downstairs. See if he can make up some time.
Yeah, certainly not out of this race just yet, though, and mad props for continuing. It'd be really easy to reset, especially after all those mistakes in Womps on Cannonless. It'd be really easy to just go ahead and throw in the towel and say, all right, I quit. But Spread going ahead and just advancing on through with it, as Xandruuuu, meanwhile, getting C upslide in HMC.
Gosh, I love watching that star. And you are right. Huge respect to Spread for holding it down. I'm expecting a great basement out of our dude right here.
All right, is Xander going to go ahead and close out basement, and we're going to go ahead and see how the rabbit grabbing festival goes for xandruuuu. Meanwhile, Spread entering the sand stage. As we saw before, they do that more traditional route starting with the Talon Star here.
Here we go, Spread connecting with the fly guy. And look at Andrew. 11:15 HMC exit in a race. That is incredible. Through the rough goal with the first door here.
We're gonna have to try that again. Nice backup though. Oh, but ends up punching the door frame instead of grabbing Mips there. You can grab Mips with that same door frame punch, but it's very, very precise to do that. Third try though is the charm. As Xander gonna go ahead and advance on over to the 30-star door.
And no!
Xandruuuu dropping Mips into the door, so they need to go ahead and exit the key door, or it looks like, okay, the fastest way to fix this is to exit and re-enter the key door, because you need to respawn Mips now, and since you didn't grab a star, just spawning the area is going to respawn Mips. So the fastest way to do that would be exiting and re-entering the key door, but dying in LLL is going to be a pretty quick way of doing that too. And also, in case you didn't know, the first bounce off a slide kick does not burn on the lava. Fun fact.
Good to know. Now, you absolutely hate to see a mistake like that, but you gotta imagine that is a little glimmer of hope for Spread here. And just like we said last race, the second you do not respect that door, you're losing Mips. He's gone.
Exactly. Yeah, you know, that's kind of the consequence of when you just go for that kind of YOLO setup. Sometimes you put Mips just in that worst possible position.
Now, Andrew's still with a sizable lead here. Let's see how door 2 goes. We are through. Spread with a solid spider punch here. Looking to finish out the cave. About a star and a Mips behind still.
And xandruuuu looks like going to be setting up for rear sub again, so no real room for any time save trying to go for front sub. And Spread, I'm not sure, would go for front sub, honestly. Oh, ground pounding a little bit beside the star, but does manage to back that up pretty quickly as xandruuuu finishes a nice comfy rear sub. Alright, so now Spread going to move on over for Mips themselves as xandruuu's going to head on into Fire Seed. Oh, but Mips running the wrong way for Spread. He's getting a slightly too steep angle as xandruuuu moves on in for pole glitch and gets it first try. Nicely done.
That's all.
Despite the name, the pole really has nothing to do with that glitch at all, but xandruuuu
looks like we are going to hit a comfortable 0 cycle here in Fire Seed. Andrew, as Spread approaches door 1, looking good. I imagine he will blast right through.
Nicely done. As xandruuuu going to advance into the Bowser fight. Spread taking things off a little bit too comfy with the second clip here with the Fire Seed door. There we go.
I was a little nervous. I didn't want the same thing to happen. We're all right.
xandruuuu goes for that 3/4 spin throw with a sort of remote grab on Bowser's tail. Some interesting tech that you could do on the second throw here. Just because Bowser takes a lot of time to be grabbable, but he stands still and doesn't turn during that time. So it's the only throw where you get the opportunity to just stand on his tail for a second before you can even do anything. Spread taking some interesting camera angles throughout DDD here. I'm not sure if maybe like some weird glitch happened with the camera or what was going on there, but that was one of the weirder camera approaches I've seen to the sub star here. But we're on the sub now, rear sub working out just fine as Xandru can advance up to backwards long jumps. Let's see what happens here. Trying to hit that very corner of the stair and not getting any catches his first try. Let's see, it's second go around, maybe we'll get some better luck. And there we go, we got a catch. Got to build up some extra speed. Through the doorway, it takes, I think it's somewhere in the realm of like middle 100s, like 150 to 160s. But through the sidewalls, it takes like mid 300 speed to get through.
Oh,
so it
my
to get through.
Gosh. I think
no.
Spread has encountered one of the most wild softlocks I have ever seen.
Oh no. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's moving. So every frame, Mario tries to grab the pole. And every frame, wait, I don't even think he's trying to grab the pole. I think like he's just stuck in that bonk animation.
He was on the pole, and then he was here, and it seemed pretty crazy. This is some wild action here in race 2.
Yeah, I think that's GG for Spread. That's unfortunately going to be a DNF. As we talked about at the very beginning of this race, runners do not keep save files. So if he went ahead and reset his console right now, he'd have to redo the entire run from the beginning. So that's unfortunately going to be it for Spread. As Xandru's going to head right on into the Bowser fight.
Spread's got to sit back. He's kind of
featured...
marveling at this.
Yeah, I think this exact softlock is like featured in one of Pan and Koeg's softlock videos. Like in a big collection of different bonk type softlocks like this. That's just on one hand, like it's cool to see something like this just happen out of the blue, but also like you feel so bad that it happened right in the middle of the race. But Spread before this point absolutely gave it their all in this race. And they can still go home proud of that at least.
Hits, looking for one more to close out. Oh, there it is. That is the third.
And pretty nice stuff from Xandru, despite the MIP shenanigans, finishing out a nice, cool mid-18.
This is just crazy. Obviously, very, very well done by Andrew. About an 18:30 in a race. Can't be mad at that. And across the screen, we've got a wild Fire C softlock. Race 2 was very exciting.
Exactly right. But unfortunately, that's going to be it for the set, as Xandru is going to be moving on along in this qualifier matchup. Spread, unfortunately, with that softlock, is going to be officially eliminated. We'll see if either runner is interested in going ahead and coming into the booth for interviews, but even if they're not, I mean, the gameplay pretty well spoke for itself. You know, both runners absolutely gave it their all. It just Xandru coming out with both some of the more consistent strats on occasion, pulling them out pretty well, but then just coming out with the strats, coming out with things like double jump Alice out of the blue and side hop in the middle of the run, and just really, you know, going a little bit further, going that extra mile with the no LBLJ route, and then wherever he was comfortable with going more inconsistent, he decided to go with that inconsistent strat.
I think we saw both runners perform today. Andrew with a great victory, and you got to shout out Spread too. It was on a great pace in race 1 there, and
hey.
Yo, Spread! Dude! Whoa! That's softlock.
It's happened before, actually. It's not the first time.
Oh, no!
I've had a backup to not get that before. Well, not really backup, just certain movement that I do. And I did it, but it apparently didn't work this time.
Oh, that's always the worst when you find out that supposedly consistent backup doesn't actually work for you.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good race. It was a great race.
Exactly. Yeah, There's a lot of good gameplay from your side as well as Xandruuu's side throughout both races. It was just unfortunate it had to end that way.
Yeah.
What was kind of going through your mind during the throws on that first race too? Because that seemed especially brutal too.
Yeah, I was kind of just practicing at that point. My throws are not great at all. I don't know. I really have to practice them. I have like a really bad third-party controller I use for throws. So that might be part of it. But I feel like I just have to practice more.
You never want to use that controller with the good stick, but then that means that it's so difficult to move Mario around properly when you got to do throws.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was
very well done though, Spread. You're on a dazzler race 1. You showed you can really pace with the best of them, man.
Yeah, I tried. You know, it was a good
stuff.
Race.
Unfortunately, the battle of the Andrews did not go your way this time, but it was a legendary moment nonetheless.
And maybe we'll have to see a rematch sometime in the future.
Yeah.
Maybe there are more Andrews who want to compete. We'll do an Andrew tournament.
I'd love to see that. Maybe one day.
But with that, we'll be moving right on along to our next match in just a moment here. So stick around, folks. We're not quite done with the Mario action today. Still got more coming at you. Let me go ahead and look and see who's coming up right after this. But any last words, Spread, before we go ahead and move on out to the little break before our next matchup?
No, I think I'm good. Follow me.
Oh. Is it just twitch.tv/spread or different
twitch.tv/spreadbutter1.
Spreadbutter1. All right. Well, don't go anywhere, folks. Like I said earlier, we got some more Mario action coming right at you at 6 p.m. Eastern Time with the Dronus versus Devious DD in our 16 Star Open. So we'll be right back shortly.